This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want the touchdown, we not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they about to stampede.
Fan Battle podcast. As always, I'm your host tonight, Matthew Briggs. Let me introduce you to our amazing trio before we get to our special guest. Of course, he's not here right now because he likes to be a diva, but we got Mr. Fifth Ward Crenshaw. He's late. He'll jump in later. And then with me right now, as always, live, we got my little big brother, BT.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
You've been paying attention on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. You noticed this guy's his tweets have been the best by far this offseason when it comes to Texans camp. We got the ESPN writer DJ Bien-Aime. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? How y'all doing today?
We're one step closer to the season, right? That's all that matters. Well, guys, before we kick off, I would like to say something. We as me, BT, and Crenshaw, we like to say we're a family, and that is even you, DJ. Every guest that comes on, we consider them Texans Fan Battle family. And I like to give a shout out to B. Scott from 610. His wife passed away. So we would like to give our condolences and prayers and positive vibes. It's tough to lose somebody you're close to. I couldn't imagine a wife. So shout out to B. Scott. Hopefully, our vibes and our prayers go out to you and your family. You definitely need it. Well, guys, let's kicking in some news today. Well, not news, but camp. DJ, you're there live, man. Tell how's the vibe going there?
The vibe at training camp is so much better this year than last year. Like, there's actually legitimate good competition both ways. There'll be some days where the offense gets the defense and the defense gets the offense. Sometimes it bounces from period to period. And last year, there just wasn't no energy, man. Like, it was very dead. Like, I don't remember the fans really, like, clapping and celebrating that much. Like, obviously, they can get you, woo! But this year, you can feel the energy at practice. Obviously, like, there's levels to it. Like, obviously, there's like another level that they possibly could get to. But I think they'll be there next year, like where they're like rabid, crazy, losing their mind. And they're close to that right now. But again, compared to last year, it's 10 times better. It's way more enjoyable to go to practice and know that the team you're covering, people care about. Because the worst thing is when you cover a team that nobody cares about, whether it's good or bad, right? Like whether the team is good or bad. You want to cover a team that people care deeply about. And obviously, to be honest, like Houston sports fans, like they're more fair weather fans. And that's okay. Like I actually respect that approach more than like people that, I mean, you have your different strokes for different folks, whatever. But I kind of lean more on if my team good or they're entertaining, they're not entertaining, I'm not paying that much attention. That's okay. Like there's various ways to be a fan, to be fans, and I think a lot of Houston Texans fans have the approach of, I'm gonna be a ride or die, but if they're not good, I ain't showing up, and I respect that because the owners pay attention to that. Like they pay a lot of attention to fans that stop showing up, and they want to figure out why. And they want to put a product.
Hence the D'Amico Ryan signing. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like they wanted to change, and D'Amico. I mean, he's part of the reason why fans are in the stands, right? He brings that hype to the camp. So, DJ, I got it before I shoot to BT. I got a question, and I think everybody's asking this. Of course, we're going to break it into more NFL news, but the Colts announced that Anthony Richardson is the day one starter. The Texans are the last ones to kind of mention that CJ Stroud is the starter. So, here's the question for you. Is there a QB battle or not? Is it CJ Stroud or is it Davis Mills?
Is there a QB battle? The answer is no. Has there been a starter announced? No. So, I mean, CJ's been run with the ones the past 2 weeks. Like Davis is a respectable backup quarterback, and it's simple as that. You know what I mean? Like, if CJ goes down and you put Davis in, Davis can put out a respectable performance. But Davis, and it's not his fault in my eyes. Because Davis, remember, he didn't play that much in college. He basically played like a little bit for 1 year. And the way his game is, he's not like Anthony Richardson where, yeah, Anthony Richardson didn't play that much, but he brings a totally different dimension and dynamic to where he can still make plays where Davis, the way he plays, he's more of a pocket passer, traditional, where he's trying to, process play after play after play and pick defenses apart with his arm, things of that nature. But for you to get to that level, there's a lot of reps that you need in college, high school, all that. Obviously, he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, but he didn't play that much at Stanford. So when he got to the NFL, he went third round because you still saw the traits and the attributes that can be a starting caliber quarterback. But his play style, since he didn't play that much in college, and he got thrown into a bad situation with the Texans, especially last year in 2021 with the Deshaun situation, and then obviously last year where it wasn't the best of situations. He still had a 1,000-yard receiver, he still had a solid offensive line, but he still, like, for him to thrive, he would have needed a lot more support. So while he's developing and getting those reps, he still has people elevating him. But since he had to kind of do a lot of that carrying, he wasn't, obviously he is who he is now, and he's not going to get those reps, and he just doesn't provide that juice that you need at the quarterback position where CJ gives you flashes of that juice, right? Even like again, when you're watching a young quarterback, you want to see, do they have some juice to them? CJ has that. Even like today, like Tua threw a pick six at the end of practice, and that that was that. But there were some plays where you still saw like some juice coming out from the offense when he was leading it, right? Because during the 2-minute drill, they're moving the ball down with ease. You know what I mean? Like Tua was putting the ball where it needed to go, and then Jalen made a great play. But again, like you saw some of that flashy with him as a rookie. His second start against the Arizona Cardinals when he let it come back against Kyler Murray. And again, you saw some flashes of like, okay, there's some juice there. And you did see some of that with Davis, but he wasn't able to build on that in 2022 and 2023. Like he's just a guy. And that's okay. Like I think Davis can have a 10-year career. I think Davis can have a 10 career, solid backup, da-da-da-da. But franchise guy, like that ship has sailed, right? Like the Texans have showed you that ship has sailed because he didn't get reps with the ones anymore. So is it a quarterback competition? No. But has the announcement started? No.
BT,
but
I know you had a question for Mr. DJ. What's your question?
Yeah, I have a few, but the first one I got to ask is about the line. There's a lot of fans that have gone to camp and are asking questions about Kenyon Green. So apparently he did look good to me in a few clips that I saw, but some fans are saying that he's getting rotated out with Patterson and that he's not doing all the one-on-ones reps. Can you talk about what you're seeing with Kenyon Green and if we need to be worried about him, or does he look solid?
He looks solid. Like he's going to start week 1. Like there's nothing to be concerned about there. One, they had too much invested in him to not start him. Like, what do the Texans gain from not starting Kenyon Green week 1? They don't gain anything from not starting him week 1. Because again, you invested a first-round pick in him in 2022, so you have to see what you have in him. You know what I'm saying? And especially at the O-line position, like you can only get better with. It's kind of similar to like quarterback, where like actually across the board. But it's similar to a quarterback where offensive linemen need to play. If you get drafted out how you need to play, you can't get better on the bench. Because, like, one, like, there's only so much watching you can do to truly apply that to on the field, right? Like, like some positions you can sit and learn a lot, like cornerback, safety. Granted, you still got to play the ends. You still got to play, but at least I think that sitting does have a little bit of benefits. But offensive line, nah, man. And again, like, what's the alternative? You guys saw in the preseason game, you saw what the offensive line looked like without. I mean, obviously Kenyon played, but Kenyon wasn't allowing the pressures. You saw what happened on the right side. You saw what happened at the left tackle spot. Like, you need Kenyon Green to play because, again, your alternatives ain't great anyway. So he's going to be a starter week 1. He's looked fine throughout camp. And again, he's only in the second year. Like, the position that is harder to transition from the NFL, from college to NFL, quarterback, cornerback, offensive line, and tight end. Now, those are positions that take a lot longer. Receivers, usually now they hit the ground running. The ends, by year 2, these you know what you got. Safety, similar. Linebacker, similar. You feel me? Running backs, year 1, you kind of know what you got. But those 4 positions I mentioned earlier, It's mainly like it takes reps, it takes time, and you gain nothing from not
So
playing Kenyon
why do
Green.
you think they're rotating Patterson with him with the ones? Is it just so Patterson get experience? And don't you think Kenyon Green needs all those reps?
I haven't seen Patterson get that many
Okay.
reps with the ones, so I can't really speak on that. But I haven't. I've seen Dieter get some reps with the ones. I've seen Dieter get a lot of reps with the one. I've seen Dieter get reps. Maybe they're confusing
Oh,
Dieter
okay.
with
Okay.
Patterson. Dieter's got reps with the ones, but Dieter's kind of like the utility guy where like you.
So he needs
Dieter can play
the
center
reps
and
as
play
well
guard.
as Green and Scruggs. So that way, if one of them go down, he can play both. Right.
Exactly.
That makes me even
Great,
more happy
point.
about
Great
it.
point.
I mean,
Point, brother.
yeah, like we said, Green
What up,
Green
DJ?
and
What up,
Scruggs both
DJ?
need the
First
reps.
of all,
But I would like the guy out there just in case one of those
where is
guys
that
get hurt
football that you
and
caught the touchdown with?
doesn't
Is
miss
it in
a
the
beat.
house somewhere, man?
Yeah.
Well, look.
Yeah. But in my eyes, if any of the starters get hurt, the backup is there's gonna be a drop off.
Yeah.
A drastic drop off. It is what it is. There's no team has 7 good offensive linemen or 7 quality starting offensive linemen. Like that doesn't exist in today's
Well, we used to
NFL.
have Heck, who used to be really
Nah, but I got
more than a
questions
serviceable
about
swing tackle,
things,
but
you tweeted
he's
out
hurt,
earlier.
and I don't think he may
So
come
how
back
did the
this season. I mean, it
line
doesn't
held
look
up
good.
against their O-line?
That's the problem, is that
and
we used to have
did
Heck, and now we
operate
don't have
good
him.
in,
So that's a big thing
Vic
for the bookends.
Right.
Now, of course, for the interior, it is what it is there.
How
But
did
now
I-
we don't have the bookends
Yeah, how did
or
our
the
D
interior
line
in
hold
terms
up
of
against
depth.
their offensive line, Miami?
Yeah, but I think Fan's better than Heck. Fan came into camp a little bit later. I mean, he came in a few days after camp. He had to wrap up a little bit, but like Fan, you know what you're gonna get from Fan. He is a quality swing tackle. Because when you go to the backups, all you ask for is, can this guy prevent plays completely getting blown up, right? Because is he gonna drive guys off the ball? No. Is he gonna shut down the best left tackle? I mean, better edge rushers? No. That's why you have tight ends to help chip, things of that nature. You got running backs to slide to the side to help, and then you got you can system protection to help him out, things of that nature. But again, like if Fant's out there, he's not gonna embarrass the offensive line. He's not gonna have plays where he's ruining drives. So yes, you don't have Heck, but once Titus is back, you'll have Fan in that swing tackle role. He knows the system. It'll be all right.
I'm not to commandeer this whole thing, but I have one question more about the line, which is,
Go ahead. Talk to me about all the
right,
offensive
so
line questions you
Deculus
got.
is not on the depth chart, right? So what do you think the O-line looks like on preseason? I don't think Tunsil takes any snaps, right? So like, what are we looking at for preseason game? Not just practice, but on Saturday. How does our line look?
Oh, that's a good question. It depends if Shaq plays. I know Tunsil probably won't play. There's no point. Like Tunsil is arguably the best left tackle in the game. No need to play him. So I can see Fant, Green, Scruggs, maybe Mason, and then Austin again. Like, because I don't. Who else they gonna put? Who else they gonna put?
What about that new dude that we Jackie Chen?
He just got here yesterday.
So he's not gonna.
He just got cut. He got cut, and he a rookie. Think about it. He got cut before the cut date. He's a rookie from a D2 school, and he got cut again 3 weeks into camp. He got cut. So yeah, like you put him out like hit. I know Austin just had a bad game. Also you gotta remember like when they messed up, like not they messed him up at Austin and left tackle. Fant was playing right, and they switched him day of the game. So like I can understand how that's a little bit of adjustment where you're practicing on one side a bunch, and then the day of the game you got to switch to another side. So you have to flip everything in your brain of how you would do things in that nature. So Austin isn't as bad as he showed week one. I mean, week one of preseason. He's not that like that is you don't belong in the NFL roster bad, but he's not that bad. Like Austin ain't that bad. Like I think he could develop into a solid swing tackle caliber guy, but he ain't what he displayed.
Well, we got a comment saying, "What about Rashad Coward?"
I refuse to believe that. Who? Who is that? Like, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that is. Not because I'm not paying attention, but like I pay attention to guys that I know will make it, that can impact. Yeah, I
All
don't know who
right.
that is.
Well,
I mean,
as
like no disrespect
always,
to him,
late but never.
and
He
shout out to him for
always
being in
brings
the
the
NFL.
good
But I don't know who that
content.
is.
Mr. Crenshaw, about time you show up.
Crenshaw, what's good? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Man, that football, man, get that football right back. You saw on the video, you feel me? I caught it, spun it, told the camera this is what I do, and I don't know what the ball went after that. I don't know what. I don't know. We were still using the same ball. I don't know if they using a new ball. I don't know where that ball went. So talk to me. Talk to me. Say that first question again. How did the old go ahead? Oh, it was weird, man, because like during one-on-ones, the Texans D line beat the hell out of the Dolphins O line. Like I remember, like there was one play where Lopez drove their starting center, who wants a new contract, to back to the quarterback. Like to be honest, like if Roy wanted to, Roy could have driven that man to Dallas the way he pushed that man off the ball. I'm not gonna lie. But then like there were plays where Jerry Hughes was whooping Austin Jackson and started right tackle. Obviously, what's his name? Uh Armstead, he didn't participate in one-on-ones. Neither did Will, which is interesting. But once they got the team, it wasn't like they got pressures, but they weren't necessarily like getting sacks. But they're getting pressure. But Tua isn't a quarterback that actually gets sacked a lot because he gets the ball out quickly, which is odd when sometimes they'll hold the ball too long and then get slammed on his neck. But because you look at even like in 2021 where they had the worst offensive line, arguably the worst offensive line in the league, he didn't like he wasn't up there in sacks. So Tua has really good pocket presence. So I can't. It's hard to judge in practice because Tua gets the ball out quickly. But it was I would say it was a stalemate where like there were plays with the D line won, and there's plays with the offensive line gave Tua enough protection to get the ball out. So I'd say it was good competition. And then to your second question, there's some plays where Vic has CJ in hell. There's some plays where Vic has CJ in hell. But there's all the other plays where CJ was able to get the ball out. But I think that Vic for sure. But that's to be expected, right? Like Vic, arguably one of the best DCs ever. Like he's up there with the Bill Belichick of the world, the Rex Ryans of the world. Like Vic is elite as a DC.
Yep.
I found out the other day he was actually a DC for the Texans back in like when they were first when they were first created in '02, '03, '04, '05. Actually '02, '03, '04, and '05, whatever. But yeah. Like so I can't really really hold it against CJ that he wasn't
Okay.
as crisp
So this
against
is a
Vic
question
Fangio
I,
because
I
like he
asked
does a lot like
weekly
he
to the
holds
guests
stuff
just to piss
like you don't know
just to
he's gonna
piss
be in
BT
the
off.
post snap. For example, like
Who
well,
has
I know
been
how he
better in
really has a
camp,
lot of success
Steven
with
Nelson or
quarterbacks.
Derek
He's
Stingley?
almost in that Bill Belichick sphere, but Belichick is just different against rookie quarterbacks. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
But like Tua's rookie year, Tua started out really well, right? Obviously, the ran game he only had like 97 yards passing and one touchdown to Devontae Parker. But the next game he had two touchdowns against what's it called? The Cardinals. Led the comeback drive. Had a really good game. Had an efficient game against the Chargers. Had another good game against the what's the team called? A good game against the Bengals. And then he went to Denver. They sacked that man 6 times. You feel me? They sacked him 6 times. He threw for under 100 yards. And he got benched. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in. So I expected CJ to have moments where he was patting the ball, not really sure where to go. There's some plays where he had he got sacked in between the 20s. It was a little tricky, but in the red zone, he was actually pretty efficient. Like he threw some touchdowns to Tank, had some scrambles, created off script. So I would say based off of what I saw from CJ as a rookie quarterback, great on a rookie scale, I was pleased. Now, obviously, it was a game. His stats wouldn't have looked great, but again, I was pleased because you saw again flashes. With Ricky, all you want to see is flashes, and you saw flashes of him learning on the fly. Because as the practice went on, he was starting to get better. But again, like there were still ups and downs, right? Like he tried to push the ball down the field a bunch of times during in between the 20s to Nico. Two to Nico, fell incomplete. One to Hutch, fell incomplete. But then he had one to Nico where he scrambled, rolled out, and he forced it down Nico down the sideline. It might have been a 25-yard game. So again, it was I was pleased with what I saw, but again, like it was an actual game, keeping track of things. He would have some struggles. The stat line, maybe at half, it was kind of janky, but after the first half, I think it would have got better because that's what we saw at
So
practice.
just speaking on what you were talking about, just on the receiver side. So you mentioned both on Twitter and right now that Dalton Schultz really, during not the red zone drills and stuff, Dalton Schultz was really like the lead receiver. Is that really, do you put that more on the receivers side? Do you put that on Stroud himself? I mean, not necessarily the blame, but where does the work need to happen? Is it overall? What's going on right there?
Oh, with the receivers, so I think so it's a combination of since they don't have a solidified number one guy, it could just be a rotation of guys each day where like you'll see Tank make a bunch of plays, or you'll see Robert make some plays, or you'll see Noah make some plays, or you might see Nico make some plays. But for the tight end spot, like your tight end, it can be your quarterback's, especially your young quarterback's best friend, security blanket, right? Like you can see it's a lot easier to like, okay, he can run like a hook route or a curl route right in CJ's vision, and he can get it right to him. There's one play where not Tank, but Dalton was crushing over the middle, and he like confident, decisive, fired it right to Dalton, and that looked good, obviously. So I just think it's a combination of there's not a solidified number one guy, and Dalton is really good, you know? So like those two things just kind of go together where you're gonna see there's gonna be some games where Dalton might have over 10 targets. Because again, like Dalton is a good tight end, and there's not that many linebackers / safeties on their schedule early on, outside of maybe the Ravens got a good safety duo, the Colts don't, the Jags don't. Steelers, obviously, they got Minka Fitzpatrick, but Minka is more of a safe, he's a middle field guy or whatnot. And he obviously, the Ravens have a good linebacking core. The Jags, it's whatever. The Colts, you got Shaquille, but I don't really suspect you're gonna see Shaquille matched up on Dalton a bunch. So my point, I don't want to get off track, is Dalton's gonna have a lot of opportunity, especially early in the year, and that's gonna open up things for everybody else. Yep. It's even. Yeah, it's even. Stingley look good. Steve look good, man. Like, hey, I'm glad they didn't cut him. I know a lot of people wanted Steven Nelson cut. He was acting kind of crazy on social media, but there's a reason why they didn't cut him. There's a reason why they did not cut him, because they knew he's a good football player. That's why they didn't cut him. And they knew if they wanted their secondary to be as good as it could be in 2023, they needed Steve. And that's why they didn't cut him. If they would have cut Steve, Steve would have got picked up by somebody quickly. Because again, like you can never have too many cornerbacks, and you can never have too many good offensive linemen. And you can obviously never have enough defensive linemen. But it's hard to find good offensive linemen, good defensive linemen, good cornerbacks. And Steve has looked really good at times. I think he probably has the most interceptions for the entire secondary throughout camp. He has the most, without question. I believe he caught one the other day. I think he has 3. Stingley has 1. Petrie, if you include today, might have 2. Jimmy might have 1. Tyvier has 1. Desmond has 0. He might have 1, but I think he has 0 throughout camp. So Steve has got his hands on the ball, create turnovers, got PBUs. Like, Steve is legit. And that's why they didn't cut him. Even when he was doing his social media stuff, they knew they needed him to be as good as they want to be in 2023. Because again, like Domingo, first year coach, Casario got to start winning. Because again, what his record is what it is. Like good God, he has what? He got 7 wins on the entire since he's been here. Because he went 3. Oh my God, no, I'm tripping. Because they went 4, 12-1, or was it 3? It was 3-13. Oh my God. So he got 7 wins since he's been here. So you need as many good players as possible, so you can start getting the ball running in the wind. Because again, like when Steve goes out or Sting goes out, there's a drop off and it's noticeable. Like I thought Shaquille Griffin could be
not even a rotational guy,
to
huh?
push Steve to be a starter. Nope, no shot. And we asked Miko about that. I think I say this: if Steve or Sting got hurt, Griffin can go out there and he can hold his own, and the drop off wouldn't be noticeable, but there would be a drop off. It wouldn't be a large drop off, but it wouldn't be a large drop off, but it would be a little noticeable. I know I said it wouldn't be noticeable, but I'm correcting myself. It would be a little bit.
Right.
You could notice it a little bit, but it wouldn't be gigantic. But when we asked Miko about Griffin, he said he's a depth piece. Right. So I'll let you know what they feel about Steve. And think about Steve did what he did, and he got a ring. So yeah, no, Steve looked good in camp. Like Steve looks like I think there could be a scenario at the end of the year where we're like, obviously we know the Texans will have a top 5 safety duo. You're not gonna find a team that got 2 safeties better than Jalen and Jimmy Ward. But I think there could be a scenario where you have Steve and Stingley, and you're like, I don't know if there's 10 teams that have a better cornerback duo.
So, all right, I've been saying this that I think we're going to have a top 5 secondary. What are your thoughts? You think that's a possibility, or I mean, right? I think our secondary is our strength of the team. Honestly, I think that we'll be known for our secondary.
Absolutely. They had 16 interceptions and only allowed 15 passing touchdowns through the air. And the only people that really tore them up through the air was, from a passing standpoint, was Tua, Herbert, and Mahomes.
Yeah,
that was it. Dak did it. Dak threw 2 interceptions against them. Yeah, he threw. He led a game with drive, whatever. But they caught 2 picks off of Dak. You feel me? And Hurts was fine, but it was the run game that really got that offense going. So again, it wasn't like they didn't play good quarterback. They played good quarterbacks. We saw what they did against Trevor. Trevor was good against a lot of teams. He had 0 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions against the Texans last year. So again, they played good quarterbacks. Obviously, they didn't play a bunch of good quarterbacks, but they played a good amount of quarterbacks to be able to have a definitive take of what the secondary looked like. And the secondary was a strength. So again, I can see them being a top 5 unit without question. But I'll say this though, they wouldn't have been top. They couldn't be a top 5 unit if they didn't keep Stingley. They didn't keep Steven Nelson.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if they would got rid of him, there's no top.
I got a question for him,
top 5
it's
secondary.
not football.
For sure, not top 5. Top 10.
Can we just take away his Twitter account and just have him play ball? So, I mean, that's all we need him to do. Just stop fucking tweeting.
Why
Killer Mike.
Why should we take away
Steven Nelson's Twitter account? He's still tweeting all. I mean, did you see what he's tweeting out today? I mean,
yeah, but what if he's going through something in his life and he's like, all right, I just tweeting this out, getting this out, and going from there.
Get a journal. Get a journal. I mean, we'll get off that topic because it obviously doesn't matter. Steven Nelson, if you're watching, get a daily journal, write it down, stop tweeting. Someone take your phone away.
What if he does have a daily journal and he just wants to tweet a couple things?
Stop. That's what I got to say.
Because he still be saying God got me though.
After he said God was pointless, he was like, I mean, what the fuck are you saying? But I know we only got you for a little more time, so right before we let you go.
Matt,
you want to just do the preview for the Dolphins game since we've got the Miami dude right here?
Gotta be.
All right. Oh, yeah. Hold on. All right, so let's talk about this preview. So the first question everyone wants to know, how much is CJ going to play? What do you think? And that's to you, DJ.
Probably I would say at the bare minimum four series. Yeah, 4 series. CJ got to play. Like I hope D'Amico understand that CJ has to play. Like CJ, you can't treat CJ like he a vet. Like CJ's still a rookie. You know what I mean? Like I would have liked if they would have let him get one more series that first week, but you know that O-line might have got him killed. So maybe maybe it
well,
makes sense
now
to
you know
go
they're.
two
I
series.
know it's
But yeah, hopefully they
preseason,
can
so
get
it
him
really
fourth
doesn't matter. But
and
they're
go from
playing
there.
your favorite team. Do you think that the number ones are going to have a great game, or do you think it's going to be evenly matched?
So I don't think Miami gonna play a lot of day ones. I think Tyreek will probably not gonna play this game because last year he didn't play. He didn't play in the second preseason game. He played in the third. He played one series, caught that deep pass from Tua. That everybody wanted to overanalyze because everybody a quarterback. And then that was that. Xavier Howard didn't play that much. I don't think Xavier gonna play that much because you gotta remember Dolphins.
Right.
They have a lot of proven veterans, right? Like they got Howard, they got I don't think you'll see that many of their ones, which is fine by me. Like let's just get CJ reps. That's what come down. Let's get CJ reps. Let's get CJ reps. Let's get the Texans defense some reps against the Dolphins. I think Tua may play, and if Tua plays, Tyreek, I think they can for sure feast. Because I don't think Armstead ain't gonna play either. So yeah, like they're gonna have Tua out there with the second team offense. So, but I mean, again, like it's all about building confidence and getting good reps and stacking good plays on top of good plays so you can carry that confidence into week one. I know y'all remember the Texans had a really good preseason last year. You saw they jumped out on the Colts,
You're absolutely right. That's
and
what
they pissed it down LA. That was that.
So David Pierce didn't play, of course, last week. Do you think he'll have any reps this week, or they're sitting in the hole? Okay, he will. All right, Chris, you got a question for the Dolphins?
I think he gets some reps this week for sure. Yeah. Talk to me. Both of them suck. Both of those albums suck. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't listen to Killer Mike anyway, so I'm gonna just go with Kodak by default. And Tank said that Kodak might be the best rapper ever. So, who am I to go against? Who Tank?
We know the best ever. We already had this conversation. It's B.I.G. and it's never going to change.
You think it's Biggie, but like.
Crenshaw kind of kicked it off with a football question. So it's kind of football related because it's Madden. I know you're a big Madden player. Have you played yet? Well, yeah. I'll let you know. I've seen.
I actually just downloaded it. Like I got it right on my TV right there. Like I got
terrible. And Henry always murdered his last name. Henry.
Oh
Tutua.
Yeah. It looks clunky.
Tutua. Yeah. He's white in the game, like completely. Like he's white as me in the video game.
Yeah,
so they're dropping the ball already. Like, come on, guys.
Really?
So
this hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, because he to be honest though, I don't play Madden. To be honest, I don't play Madden for the graphics. I don't play Madden for the actual experience. Okay. I play Madden because it's a football game and the competition.
As long as you can smoke them, right? That's all that matters.
That's what I play for. I play to win. Like I don't care what the game was like. I'm playing to win. So that's all that matters to me. You feel me? Like that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give people L's. I don't really care like how the game look.
Right.
Like I get it. Like, I understand people complaining about it, yada yada, but like, what that got to do with me? Like, I'm here to get some W's. You feel me? Like, I'm a competitor, so I enjoy just competing against because again, like if I call my homeboy Johnny, who's gonna get my best friend, who's gonna get the game soon, and I'm playing him, and the graphics suck. I don't know. Mac Jones look like Lamar Jackson. You feel me? Henry Toa, they got him listed at offensive line. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna play the game. I'm trying to beat them because I'm not gonna mention. The graphics stuck. Mac Jones look like Lamar Jackson, and they got Henry Toa O line. Johnny not gonna want to hear any of that. Johnny gonna just be talking smack to me that he just beat me.
V, you got any more questions?
I don't be caring about none of that.
DJ
I'm trying to win.
Yeah, here's my last question. So far, you've seen Bobby Slowick in training camp, and you've obviously seen the preseason game. What critique do you have so far for Slowick? Are you happy with him, or are there things that you right now are questioning him about?
Fair.
Nah, I don't think you can question a coordinator until the games actually start. Because one, Bobby Slowick, I think one misconception about practice, especially at this point in training camp, you don't know what the team working on. Specifically, you don't know what plays they just put in that they're trying to experiment with. You don't know what the situation that they're trying to operate is at that point. Because let's say it could be like, okay, we're gonna work on third downs, but we want to work on pushing the ball beyond the sticks, right? And they're trying to get first down, but they're not trying to get the 5 yard. They say 35, they're not trying to get the 5 yard completion. They're trying to get the 15-yard completion to try to get an explosive. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the defense is working on either. So at this point, there's a lot going on to where you can only judge so much, right? Like even on the pitch that Petrie caught, great play. If you want to kill Tua Tagovailoa, you can. But again, it was to the third string receiver. Waddle wasn't out there because in that situation, that might be Waddle going over that, for that route. And maybe, because, Chosen, he didn't really fight too hard for that ball or whatever. It was, whatever. But again, you don't know if it's miscommunication, things of that nature. There's so much lack of context and nuance that happens in practice that you can't pick up on because one, players and coaches, you can't talk to them that much after practice. You can get them pressures, yada yada. But again, some players might not even know themselves because they gotta go rewatch film. So and then again, so they can discuss the nuance and concepts, and again, that we're not going to get. So I can't judge a coordinator based off what we see in preseason and what we see in practice. Because again, with Bobby, with the all 22 because I put up the clip for everybody to see with CJ, all the dropbacks. How many plays? And I want you guys to answer this. I know you guys will watch that because you guys are diehards. You guys pay attention to all this. You guys do great work. How many plays when you watch all CJ dropbacks where it was mirror routes?
I mean, there's
almost
maybe
every
about
single
one or two
was
that's not, but yeah, you're
am
right.
I right? Am I right or am I correct?
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Like on the first play, right? It was basically a stick concept, right? You got the tight end running like where he's running like an option route, and you got Nico running an out route, and you got the same thing on the other side, right? So CJ got to pick a side and go, right? And then same way, even on this interception, only difference was you had, I think that was Metch, you had him running an over route. But again, you had Tank and you had Nico both running it was basically like a corner curl. That's what I call it. But I call, for the sake of discussion, a corner route. I mean, not a corner route, but a curl route. Both of them running that. And then the play with CJ got sacked, where they're both running post curls. You had Tank running post curl. You had Nico running post curl. So you basically got to pick one guy, pick a side, and go there. So again, I can't judge that much because again, offense coordinators. Again, Bobby has never called plays before, so he's gonna be able to throw everybody off for the first 4 weeks because they're not gonna have any tendencies on Bobby. So it's smart for him to not show much, especially if there's fans at practice. There's more reason to not show much. The fans be recording stuff, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But scouts and teams, they search Twitter to see what's out there. That's why I'll get a random team from whoever that may face the Texans that follow me randomly, like a personnel person follow me randomly just to see what I'm tweeting, to see if maybe I'm tweeting about this specific player, that specific player, or this play concept, so they can now tell that to their coaches and add that to their database. So that's why I can't judge too much off of practice with OCs, and same with in practice and in preseason, because again, you don't know what they're working on, and again in preseason game, you're not trying to get on too much. especially with Bobby, who's never called plays before.
So
you want to catch everybody.
We know you got you're short for
great
time,
answer,
so just a real quick question.
I appreciate that.
The Fan Battle Sports Network was founded by Fan Battle Chatter. We have a group called the AFC South Fan Battle. We're Titans fans, Colts, Jacks, and they all believe one thing. And I want you to tell them why they're wrong. But they believe that CJ Stroud is a bust after one preseason game. Tell me why they are wrong, DJ.
They're wrong because he hasn't even played a game yet. NFL actually regular season game counts. So, like, all right, for example, like, all right, he showed in a preseason game. You know who looked really, really good in preseason? That's no longer a starter now? He was in the 2021 class. I think you guys can guess. No, Zach Wilson. That's the 2021 class. He looked really good because the second game, I think he threw two. I think the second preseason game, he threw 2 touchdowns against the Green Bay Packers. And he was doing the off-script stuff, throwing that thing, and Corey Davis making things happen. And he's no longer a starter 2 years later.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, like, again, like, you can only take so much off of preseason. Like, how many times we seen somebody go crazy
still playing on the road?
So I keep trying to tell him,
and
it's still his first NFL
game,
so it's still going to be tough.
Get out of your system.
Don't veteran.
The season,
they're still going to make noise even though the guys are out. But I mean, it's good for CJ. His first game.
Rookie quarterback's going through a pitch.
Part of the game.
That's what it is.
You feel me? Like, to say it's a bust after a preseason game, it's just stupid and idiotic.
And he do his check down Charlie to Dalton. So I can
of course not.
Pass attempts? Like, that's so ridiculous.
It's fan banter, and you got to understand that's what happens when you take a quarterback that hot from a school like he came from that has a big fan base. He's a big name. Like, this is going to happen. Like, CJ is, I don't know if he's as polarizing as Bryce. Bryce is more polarizing because Bryce is tiny. So, like, everybody has an opinion on Bryce. But CJ came from Ohio State, so he's going to be polarized because he came from Ohio State, and they haven't produced a Pro Bowl quarterback yet. So, you're going to have people with quick, ready to shoot the gun and say what they got to say about CJ. The negative.
Well, DJ, man, thank you for coming on. We know you got to get out of here. So why don't you tell all our fans where we can find you on social media and what you got cooking in the writing section?
Yeah, I got some good things because I'm writing some on Larry Tunsil, writing some on Malik Collins. I'm also writing some on CJ, a few things on CJ. So I got a lot. And obviously, you can find me on Twitter, DJ Bien-Aime, on X.com.
I still call it Twitter.
Like, why couldn't I pick a different? Why he couldn't pick a different letter?
He loves that thing X. He's been doing that since PayPal days. I'll never stop calling it Twitter.
I mean, that's just an odd number because odd letter because I ain't gonna stay
or
the letter X
or
signify for a website.
Exactly.
X can signify for a website.
So it's
like, why pick that letter?
Yeah. But all right, man. Thanks again. We gotta get you on after the season
weird
starts.
letter to go with.
So you tell everybody that we're right and that CJ wasn't a bust. So
yeah, for sure. I got y'all.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got y'all.
All right. Thanks, DJ.
Great minds think alike.
Do you guys want to move into NFL news real quick?
Well, we kind of already touched the whole Anthony Richardson name starter with DJ, but let's move on to some injuries, man. Traylon Burks got carted off, but now they're saying it was just an LCL, nothing too serious. Could be back within 2 to 6 weeks. And a couple other ones. BT, you got the other ones? What were they? Yes.
Yeah, so let me talk about the ones that actually affect us first. So the Ravens cornerback Marlon Humphrey. So he looks like there's no timetable for his return. He's going to have foot surgery. Now, we play them week 1. So listen, I'm not hoping for injuries ever, right? I've always said this. Unless it's Deshaun Watson, I don't want anyone else to get hurt. But the thing is, the Ravens actually have 4 hurt cornerbacks. Rocky Sin, Jalen Armour-Davis, Arthur Moulette, and I'm sure I'm murdering these names, Demarion Williams and Trayvon Mullen. They're all hurt. So what that tells me is
licking his fingers. CJ should be licking his fingers like, ooh, boy.
Yeah, exactly. We're passing a lot. I think we are. Like, obviously, we still have to. We can't get away from the run game completely. We still need to have the run game in there. But I do think we should be lighting up their secondary. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he walks out of there his first game coming out with 250 yards or more. Like, that would not surprise me.
Good for CJ, good for the Texans, good for the fans. To me, they should just pay the guy. They should just pay him because you don't. I mean, I know, like I say, the running back market slow down, but he's a good running back, and you just don't find those guys often like that. They should pay him, but hey, I'm with it. Keep the drama going, and so he don't have to play against us. Yeah. Get on another team, man. So the Colts drama, I'm loving it, and then of course, the Cowboys drama is going to come in the next couple of weeks as well. So I'm going to eat all that up right there.
And as also, you kind of take into consideration what DJ just said, right? Bobby Sloak is going to open up the playbook and going to do different calls, different schemes. The plays ain't going to be mirrored, like you said. So that's going to be another interesting thing, especially with non-veteran cornerbacks. I mean, he can trick a lot of people. So it should be a fun one to watch, hopefully. B.
Yeah, so all right. So there's also Russell Gage, who we play, and he's out for the season. That's a knee injury, but I don't know. I don't think he was going to be really make or break. I was calling Tampa basically second worst team anyway, after the Arizona Cardinals. So and you already talked about Treylon Burks, but he, like you said, he has an LCL, so he should only be out a couple of weeks. We don't play them until week 15, so that's a non-factor as far as how that affects the Texans. He should be back. And like I said, I always have to repeat this when I talk about injuries, unless it's who. I don't want anyone.
Because we definitely don't want no excuses
after that Treylon Burks.
Oh, you only beat us because Cheeseburger Eddie wasn't out there eating cheeseburgers.
To me personally, he's been playing better than Nico Collins. But since Nico's the vet, they're going to play him more. But I think Hudson should get the same amount.
But I think the other thing to talk about is the Jonathan Taylor stuff. So he came back after his rehab, but then he left, and all they're saying is that it's a personal matter, and then it's excused. They're not. So what the hell is going on? He's at practice. He's not doing anything. Then he leaves because he's on rehab. Now he's back, but now he's leaving again because he's excused.
Of course,
it's obvious he's not happy because of the contract.
Is that his girlfriend or wife or whatever is having like a miscarriage or something. So I mean, again, I don't know, but there's just rumors.
Oh, no.
If that's the case, then yeah, if it's just like I don't want to be there. I agree with you. Like, why you being an idiot? I mean, this could be it too. His personal matter is his hatred of Irsay. I mean, there's just a lot of variations. It's weird. Like one day he wants to be on the team, and the next day he doesn't. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it would be easy to just say, well, why don't they just pay him? But I mean, everyone has to understand at this point. The RB market has changed dramatically. And as much as I don't think that he deserves $16 million, I also don't think that Irsay is doing him right by playing this all out publicly. So I don't know. Like, as far as how it affects the AFC South, not just the Texans, but the entire AFC South, that changes dramatically because if Jonathan Taylor is playing with the Colts, that makes
And I think he
Shane
was second-guessing himself because on that first sack,
a threat because
I thought his ACL
how
was
he'll
gone.
be able to use the run
That was a
in
nasty
order
sack he
to
took,
emphasize
and I think
the pass game.
like
right?
really made him like, okay,
So
I'm in the NFL.
how that affects us is that we obviously we play with Colts.
The same. I mean, that was a bad
week
that
2,
sack
right? So
could have fucked
so
up
the
our
question
whole
is not only will Jonathan Taylor come back to the Colts, but will he do it soon enough?
I think he
when
play
we
more,
actually play him.
and
I think that's
you don't play week 2,
I
right?
wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come back until October.
Be out there, protect the guy. Let's see what we got out here, man.
Yep. As long as it's not the Texans no more, right? Like we're good. I'm good. Yeah. Good. Any more news, BT? Or are we good?
So as far as news and injuries, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's why I said Thompson needs to play. So Thompson
before we end it out, I want to know
he needs to. Him, Mason,
all of your
they all
projections
need to play
are
because
for
what
CJ Stroud on Saturday. And obviously, we still have another practice to go to, but what are your projections, particularly for CJ Stroud? And I'm going to throw in Tank Dell.
I got 4 and 9.
I'll tell you mine afterwards, but I want to hear what
with a total of 38 yards. And I'll say no interceptions, no touchdowns.
If you're not
and Tank Dell catches 7 touchdowns.
If you're not an All-Pro, you'll have to be playing preseason.
70 yards.
But he's not. But he's not an All-Pro. So if you're not an All-Pro, you'll actually be playing in preseason. Point blank. Period.
Okay, so that's pretty close to what he did in the first game. Okay.
Ooh. In camp. All right, BT.
Okay. So I think you're close on the CJ prediction. I think that he'll have roughly like say 10 pass attempts or so. Nothing crazy, but I think that he'll have like 6 completions. I think he's learned. Honestly, I think we're seeing him learn from his mistakes. I think one of the biggest things is that he second guesses himself. And I think that he's learning to realize that we saw it in practice today, that when there was no one open, he just took off. So I do think that he's going to take off when there's no one open. And I don't think he's going to second guess it and hold on. When we saw the interception against the Patriots, he pump fake and then threw right to him, right? You can't do that. And that's second guessing. If he had thrown it hard the first time, he actually could have made it. And not get intercepted by that safety. So I think that he's going to make better decisions. So I don't think he's going to throw an interception. I think he's going to be really careful with the football this time. But I don't see a lot of yards because I don't see them putting him out there for so long without the first team O-line out there. That the Dolphins D-line is strong. And if Tunsil's not out there and Howard's not out there, you can't risk injury to CJ Stroud. So, yeah, I don't think he's out there for a tremendous amount of time. I think he's out there for about a quarter, basically. And that ends up being about 10 pass attempts.
With intelligence and logic. I know you want to score, but ID gon' stop it. We from Texas, so that mean that we Texans. Breaking down the X's and O's our profession. No complaining, just training. You see the progression. They had a Pro Bowl for talk shows. We get selected. We gon' celebrate every win like a birthday. Ray J with the news, first with all the updates. Spin move on the competition, yeah, we juking them. You not really in touch if you not tuning in. This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want the touchdown, we not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they about to stampede.
Well, let me just say something though, because you kind of contradicted yourself with two things, right? You just said that play could have cost over our whole season, but we need to put them out there for a whole half to put on a good show because it's a home game. I don't think you can have it both ways. I think you got to realize that, yeah, we want them to get reps, but if you're not putting them out there with the first team O-line, it's not worth to risk just putting them out there for half so fans could clap for another 15 minutes. I think you have to only have them out there if you're putting Tunsil and Howard out there. And obviously Howard is hurt and Tunsil's not playing preseason. So that's why I think he plays close to a quarter, not even a full quarter, but close to a full quarter. And that's it. And if he's getting hit a lot, like if that line is to protect him, they're going to take him out sooner. So if that line is protect him, he may get a little bit more, but it's only if that line holds up. And that's going to be, in my opinion, the key factor of how long he stays in the game. But he won't. I mean, well, listen, you saw what he did today. The dude can block with one hand. The dude doesn't need reps, all right? He is a god. I believe in the church of Laramie Tunsil. I am a devotee. There is no reason for Laramie Tunsil to play us down in preseason. The only problem with not playing him is we have no one to protect our quarterback on the blind side, right? So, like, he should have been an all-pro, though. So we've had that discussion. He should have been an all-pro last year. You know this. I know this. Virtually every single top tackle in the league tweeted out that Laramie Tunsil was snubbed last year and should have been an all-pro. So, fuck it. It's not on paper that he's an all-pro, but he had an all-pro season. He gave up one sack all fucking season, and I forget how many pressures, but it wasn't a ton. It was very, very low. So he is a top 3 tackle in the league. We don't need to even have that argument anymore. The question is, do you want to put Tunsil out there and potentially destroy our entire season because of one fluke play, or just not put him out there in the preseason because it's a fucking preseason game, and we can play the regular season and have our actual line out there, and then
Texans
CJ
Fan
can
Battle brought to you by the Fan Battle Sports Network. Guys, this is where we, like Kearshaw says, the worst part of the show because it's the end. So, BT, why don't you tell the guys where we can find you, what you got working?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. No, I'm never going to say X. It's Twitter. It's Brown Chubby Bear. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. You can find articles on fanbattlesports.com.
I don't think he will listen, but you can find me at A1 Day One Texans, every platform. Also, the Fan Battle Sports Network is having a contest. If you subscribe to their YouTube channel, you are entered to win a jersey of your choice. All you got to do is subscribe, and they will pick a comment on the September 11th show. So make sure you do that. And guys, you can find the podcast Texans Fan Battle everywhere on social media and every streaming platform. So until then, guys, enjoy the preseason game, and we'll see you next week.